Hello everyone and welcome back to my F1 23 2022 Formula 2 season. This is the penultimate round of the championship and potentially a title decider. We need to score 12 points or 13 points just to be safe, to guarantee the championship win here at Monza. And that's regardless of what Amari Cordial does. If Cordial has a perfect weekend, we would need 12 points. So we've basically got it wrapped up already, unless Cordial finishes the season with 2 near perfect weekends, which is highly unlikely, but I guess you never know what might happen. So we come through the first few corners, or the first sector or so of the first flying lap, and things coming together so far as we round our way through the second Lesmo. Always struggled with the Lesmos, particularly the first one. Second one we got out of there pretty well now as we head along towards the Ascari chicane. This is a section, probably the most difficult section of the circuit, to try and get the amount of curb usage correct through here without taking too much and just unsettling the car a little bit too much through there. But on that occasion we actually got through there pretty nicely. I was very happy with that run through Ascari, just a parabolica, or the Curva Alboreto I believe it's called these days. We come through and no sense of racing line through there. That was absolutely awful. Had to hesitate a little bit on the throttle on the exit, so it's not going to be a very good run through the final sector, but we'll see. It is still the fastest time of the session so far. We'll go again though, just on a consecutive lap to see if we can improve. Jane Deruvla moves out of the way there, and we'll carry on into the Lesmos. Things going well so far as we head into the chicane, and that is a complete mess there. Not sure exactly how that went so horribly wrong, but regardless of how it went wrong, we had a horrible run through the chicane, and now we've got Deruvla right on us, trying to make the move down the inside. He's about to start his own qualifying lap, so this is not really beneficial to either of us, as we're going to try and take a late apex. At contact, we're spun half around, and Deruvla goes on through, but there's damage to the car, and Deruvla, I'm sure, has compromised the start of his lap if he doesn't have damage as well. Here's the onboard replay. Deruvla fully backed out of it, and then just decided to send it up the inside of the last minute. So yeah, I don't know what that was all about, but anyway.
Okay, we can take you this lap.
We come into the pits, and yeah, we will see if we're going to get back out there, or if we think this lap time is going to be sufficient. I don't want to put any more laps on these tyres though. We've already done 3. We don't really want to go doubling that, so yeah, I think we might just leave it and accept wherever we qualify. I think there will be some others that improve throughout the course of the session, but we'll see as we get ourselves pushed back into the garage, and the team will go to work and start getting the relatively minor damage fixed, but it's damage nonetheless, and it's still going to cost us time in the session. But like I said, we're not going to go out again, so let's just move on to the end and see where we qualify.
We've had to spend time repairing the damage to the car.
The grid is all set for the race tomorrow, but before we go, let's quickly remind ourselves of our top 3, which are
Sato, Hauger, and Felipe Drugovich.
the grid is set then, so that just leaves the race itself. Join us tomorrow where we'll be live with all the action, and until then, goodbye.
So in the end, we qualify P7. Not too bad, really, given the couple of mistakes on that lap. Amari Cordial down in 9th position. Logan Sargent getting into the top 10. What a performance by Logan Sargent. He's finally doing something good this season. He's been way down the back of the field all season, so that's great to see. He's on reverse grid pole, but Marino Sato on the regular pole position, fantastic for our teammate. So without further ado, let's get into the race.
Welcome everybody to the heart of Italian motor racing, Monza. We're here with Formula 2 for what ought to be an extravaganza of excitement and action. Let's head to the start line and get underway.
Monza is one of the faster circuits in Formula 2, comprising some very long straights and tight chicanes. The engine spends so long at full throttle, in fact, that engine failures are not an uncommon sight here. On top of that, the 3.6 miles of track are pretty hard on the gearbox too. Turn 1 at Monza is famous, or should I say infamous, for serious contact and incidents, especially on the opening lap. What are your thoughts on that, Davide?
Yes, this chicane is a tricky one. A lot of time you see the more experienced drivers hold back from full throttle to keep themselves safe as everyone tries to squeeze into the racing line after the opening straight.
Alrighty then, so here we are on the grid, ready to go racing for the sprint race here in Italy. The strategy for this one, genuinely not sure. We have the option of going all the way to the end on the mediums, or we can switch to the softs part way through. I think we're just going to go with the mediums all the way to the end. That seems the better option. We'll just have to watch out in the feature race, as we always do. 5 headlights are on. And it's lights out, and away we go for the sprint race here in Italy. It's a good start for us, and oh my goodness, Amari Cordial suddenly sort of slowing up there, or we certainly were accelerating more so as we make the move down the outside into the first corner. And we'll make the move, we'll try to, but a Cordial will hold on. But we're up into second position so far, so a good start at the beginning of this one, as we've moved from 4th on the grid up into P2, gaining a whole row there. So yeah, a good launch off the line as always, and we've just got Amari Cordial left in front of us, and we should be able to find our way past very soon. We've got the same tyres actually on hand, but I do tend to be stronger at the start and tend to struggle a lot more towards the end of stints and of races. So yeah, we'll see how this goes as we begin to think about maybe making a move into the Ascari chicane. We're gaining and gaining in the slipstream, so can we go for the move down the inside? We're going to go for it very late there, and contact, damage to the front wing. Cordial carries on, but that is a very unfortunate moment, and we're going to be forced into the pit lane. Here we go from the offboard, just too late to switch across and get onto the onto that inside line. So yeah, just a clumsy little moment. Yeah, just Cordial slowed down far more than I expected to. But c'est la vie, apparently, as it says on the rear wing. We'll head into pit lane, and we'll get a new front wing on the car. And rather interestingly, this will actually give us an opportunity to test something with the good old tyre selection bug, because we can put on another set of the medium compound. These tyres have only done a lap, and these ones that we are putting on now theoretically should be our feature race tyres that keep going missing. So it'll be interesting to see what happens this time. Obviously we're using them now in the sprint race.
Okay, let's go now. Come on. Perfect job on the turn in there, mate. Looks like a nice stop time. We're happy with that one.
So we'll just see what happens later on, I suppose. And yeah, if weird things continue to happen,
look after these tyres now. We want to finish the race on this compound.
or if the strategy screen looks a bit more normal when we get to the feature race. But anyway, on board with Yuri Vips, and this was as we came into pit lane. Logan Sargent thought about following us for a moment and then decided against it, but he'd already started braking and lost out majorly there. So weird moment for Logan Sargent there, and yeah, that has cost him. So it's unfortunate for Logan Sargent, and yeah, he's now got a lot of pressure on into the first corner. They were going many cars wide there for a moment. They're 3 wide at the moment actually, with I think Vesti and Fittipaldi on the inside of Sargent, and the Sargent is actually, I think, able to hold on ahead of Vesti and Fittipaldi. So a good effort by Logan Sargent, and they all resolve themselves there. So yeah, it's an interesting battle pack up and down the field as here it is finally on the regular replays, and yeah, you can just see Logan Sargent indecisive as to whether he was headed to pit lane or not. Not sure what that was all about, but anyway, it's the end result was that Logan Sargent ended up 3 wide on the run into the first corner, and the big braking zone there. A lot of contact made on the way through between the 3 of them, but I think they all got away with no damage, and Sargent was able to hold on to the position. So yeah, it did cost him a few spots though, and probably any real chance of a podium finish here, unfortunately for Logan Sargent. But anyway, we continue on, and the race leader, Amari Cordeal, is under a bit of pressure here from Yuri Vips. The Estonian driver goes to the outside towards the first corner. Yuri Vips on the outside trying to take the lead as the nose ahead briefly as they start fighting away for position through turns 1 and 2. Vips having trouble getting that power down on the inside line though out of turn 2. And it is Amari Cordeal who is able to hold on, but up now towards the Ascari chicane. Vips takes the outside line, swings it all the way around, and it takes the lead from Amari Cordeal. Nice move there by Yuri Vips, and takes first place with some style. We continue to push on, and
That's Calderon ahead of you. Okay, so the gap to the car ahead, 12.0 seconds.
yeah, we just need to try and close that margin to Calderon ahead, who starts fighting away and starts putting the pressure on Jake Hughes. So Hughes not having a great run here, and might soon be dropping a position, but holds on for now, just ahead of Calderon. But there's really not much between those two. So yeah, they're going to be holding each other up a little bit in that fight as Felipe Dragovic retires from the race with a mechanical failure. So that's unfortunate for Felipe Dragovic. Here's what that looked like on board with our teammate. A face full of smoke there. And yeah, far out. Marino Sato did a good job to control the car in that situation and not lose situational awareness there. As oh, round goes Ralph Boschum in the Campos at the final corner. Calderon and Hughes go through, narrowly avoiding the stranded car there. Goodness me, that's going to give us 1 position as we come round the final corner. Ralph Boschum still waiting to get going again. Here it is on the replay though, all on his own. Ralph Boschum spins it around. What a shame for the Swiss driver. He'll get it going again though, and yeah, just had to wait for the traffic to clear. So Ralph Boschum drops into last position. Meanwhile, further up the road, a few more fights going on as we have a side-by-side battle here. Marcus Armstrong making the move on Logan Sargent, who continues to drop back in this one. So that reverse grid pole has not really translated into a strong race for Logan Sargent. He's still in the points, but certainly not the race that he would have wanted. As oh, an issue there for Ollie Caldwell, the British driver in the other Campos, retiring from this one. So one Campos spinning, the other one breaks down. So it's really not been a good day for them. Meanwhile, we have another fight going on here. That is Enzo Fittipaldi going for the move down the inside of Logan Sargent, round the outside of turn 2, and gets the job done. Gives you a good bird's eye view of that complex, and yeah, how Fittipaldi was able to construct that maneuver as we head into that same section ourselves. Not able to go for the big dive on Tatiana Calderon just yet, but that's not terribly far away as we start to think about where we might be able to make that overtake. We come through Parabolica then, 4 laps to go at the end of this one, so we really don't have a lot of time to find our way through the field if we do want to end up inside of the top 10. So plenty of work for us to do here as we go to the outside of Tatiana Calderon, and we'll get through along the straight using a bit of long distance slipstream from Jake Hughes. We make the move down the inside, bit of contact with Jake Hughes, and we're not quite going to get the move done there as we go on board. I actually thought the contact was with Calderon. I thought she might have tried to stick the nose in somewhere, but no, it was all between myself and Hughes, and yeah, Calderon just watching on. We continue on then, and we're pushing JQs through Curva Grande now as we head into the next chicane, the De La Roja. We're going to go for the move down the inside. We'll get it done and move ourselves up another position, but still a long way to go before we can even think about points.
Okay, gap ahead is 3.7 seconds.
3.7 seconds up the road is the next car as Logan Sargent begins to feel the pressure, and another Red Bull liveried car goes on through. That is I believe Dennis Hauger moving up ahead of Logan Sargent now, so it's really falling apart for Logan Sargent in this race as we're a long way back. We're going to go for the move down the inside, a big lunge, we get it done, and we move ahead of Callan Williams.
Good job, nice overtake.
Next up is Roy Nassani in the dams, so we'll see
Okay mate, this is the final lap of the race, final lap.
if we can do any more to climb a bit further up the field on the rev limiter into turn 1. Such is the DRS and slipstream strength there on that particular run. We actually hit the top speed of the car there. That is kind of insane. I don't think I've ever done that before in a Formula 2 car, but you could hear that sound of the rev limiter kicking in. So yeah, that is something new, but we're still fighting our way through the field and trying to take positions wherever we can. The race is certainly not over yet, and our pace right now is as good as it is going to be. So let's see if we can maybe make a move anywhere here, dive down the inside, and we'll just about muscle our way through and move ourselves up another position into now P13.
And you're in P13.
So yeah, we are probably not going to score any points in this one. I was hoping maybe we could get into the top 10, but I just don't think that is going to happen. There was no room for us to make a move there, hence we had to bounce over that inside curb awkwardly. But out in front, it is a fantastic drive from Yuri Vips, and the Estonian driver is going to take victory here in Monza. Very well done, Yuri Vips in the high tech. And now we will come around the final couple of corners, still in 13th position, and yeah, we can't really get a run on the cars in front, so 13th it will be here in the sprint race at Monza, and the run of scoring very minimal points continues. Engineer was a bit broken there, not sure what that was about, but yeah, no points again. Marcus Armstrong gets the driver of the day.
So another fantastic victory for High-Tech GP today. Davide, what do you think made the difference here?
I think this race was won thanks to the tire management. You have to remember, it's not just about going as fast as you can. It's about consistency. It's about maintaining your speed over an entire race distance. So being able to keep the lap time competitive while still respecting the tires, that's where they won today.
And as they make their way down to the podium, there's no denying the strength of the High-Tech GP team. It was an incredible performance today, and they fully deserve to stand on the top step.
So it is Yuri Vips who takes the race victory here at Monza. Second place goes to Amari Cordial with Richard Verschoor in third.
The lead at the top has come down after a poor result for our points leader. After this round of the World Championship, here's how things look in the drivers' table. And now, Davide Valsecchi, let me ask you, who is your driver of the day?
Probably Yuri Vips. You know, strong pace, good work with the strategy, just a very complete drive, I think.
And here's how things are shaping up in the Teams Championship. Meanwhile, High-Tech GP's strong weekend allows them to continue their march up the table. After all this drama, you would be mad not to join us for the next race. We hope to see you then. Take care.
Alrighty then, let's have a little run through the finishing order as we always do. So the top three of course were Vips, Cordial and Verschoor, with Verschoor getting the fastest lap of the race. Next was Marcus Armstrong ahead of Enzo Fittipaldi, Dennis Hauger, Logan Sargent dropped into 7th in the end with Teo Porcher taking the final point. in terms of the driver's standings, that means Marino Sato is now officially out of the running fully, even mathematically, and in terms of Amaury Cordial, it's close. He didn't get pole, so that's 2 points he didn't score, and he didn't win this race or get fastest lap, so that's another 3 points off the maximum he could have been scoring at the moment. So I think the sort of the leeway he has now is just 8 points. So yeah, he's going to need to win the next one and hope that we are down the order if he wants to stay within the championship fight. But yeah, that leaves very little scope for Amaury Cordial. If we score 8 points or more, we win the championship. That is the situation. So without further ado, actually we didn't even look at the team's standings. Let's take a quick look at those. We still have some time. So in terms of the team's championship, we still lead the way rather convincingly, 115 points over Prema, and I'm pretty sure that is a done deal. If not, we can't be far away, but I don't think Prema can come back from that. I think we've basically got that, and I don't really see the next team, Van Amersfoort, catching Prema. Prema have been on fire recently. They've got 261 points versus 195 for the Van Amersfoort team in third. Then it's High Tech, who have overtaken Trident, who drop into 5th position for the first time in a while. But anyway, with all of that said, let's move on to the feature race and see how it unfolds.
Hello and welcome back to a classic circuit, familiar to fans the world over. This is Monza. You can hear the cars ready to go. Certainly the fans are ready for some action. We're all set. So let's get this Formula 2 race underway. Monza is situated 12 miles northeast of Milan. It's 3.6 miles long and offers 11 corners. 7 of those are chicanes, putting a premium on good braking stability and traction. With a good slipstream plus the other 2 DRS zones available, there should be a good number of passing opportunities on offer. So before the off, let's remind ourselves of yesterday's results with a look at the starting grid. A fantastic effort from Marino Sato yesterday puts him on pole position, with Dennis Hauger alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Drugovic, Fittipaldi, Yuri Vips, Vesti, Doohan, Vachor, Cordial, Logan Sargent, Armstrong, Iwasa, Jan Deruvala, Teo Porcher, and Lawson, Novalak, Nissani, and Tatiana Calderon. Hughes, Williams, Caldwell, and Ralph Boschon completes the grid. Now it's almost time to lights out. So let's get down to the track. As we await the start of another hugely anticipated Formula 2 race, I'm joined again by Davide Valsecchi. Davide, as a former GP2 champion, can we get some insight to what is running through these young drivers' heads as they sit out on the grid?
Ciao, Alex. It's a pleasure to be here. There are nervy moments, there is no doubts about that. Mental strength is the key to remaining calm and focusing on the upcoming race. Formula 2 is so competitive, and all of these drivers knows that they are going to be pushing each other all of the way. In this sport, you have to be able to control your nerves.
Well, here we are on the grid for the feature race here in Monza, and this one is going to be interesting, and as I am delighted to find out, we do genuinely have a new set of the medium compound tires for this one, or at least a mostly new one. I think we did 1 lap on those tires, so that basically confirms what I suspected about the tire selection glitch. It just takes away the wrong tires at the end of the previous race. But anyway, we're underway already for the feature race here at Monza. It's of course going to be a one-stop for us as we rocket our way through the field, trying to find all the gaps, and we finally run into a bit of a blockade, 3 wide in front of us into the first corner. We're just going to take this a little bit more carefully and make sure we survive because we could have a winning strategy on our hands if the others have to run on old tyres, or worse, make a 2-stop. So yeah, we'll have to see what they're going to do, but for now we make the move around the outside and we moved ourselves up already into the third position with just Vesti and Sato in front of us now. Sato managing to hold down first after taking pole earlier today, so fantastic stuff from our teammates, and who knows, we could be on for a very good result here. Vesti has the pace though, starting on the soft compound tyres. Sato started on the medium, so it was actually a very good launch off the line to be able to maintain that position for Sato. But Vesti down the inside and gets the move done on Marino Sato, and not much Sato could have done about that. We go for the move down the inside of Sato as well, but you know, it's quite evident those tyres on Sato's car are not good at this phase of the race. So as we continue on,
that was the fastest lap of the race. Keep this up. Well done.
We will start to put the pressure on Frederic Vesti. He defends to the inside. We'll go for the big move around the outside. We're quite late on the brakes, a bit too late, and we go skating over the curb straight ahead there. And Vesti will give him the place back, and yeah, continue on our way. We'll have another go at it when we catch up once again. So in the slipstream, we are going to make the move this time into Parabolica, and yeah, Vesti not giving us too much of a fight on that occasion. A bit deep though into the right-hander, and Vesti gets back through. So yeah, we are actually really struggling to get this move done at the moment. But as always, we'll have another crack at it, and we'll see as we get a nice wide run onto the straight, and with the DRS open, will there finally be the chance to make the move on Frederic Vesti as we head down towards the first corner. We've definitely got the DRS working for us as we start looking left and right. We'll go for the move down the outside, and we'll just about get it stopped and move ourselves up one more position.
Marino's in the pits. Marino in the pits.
As our teammate is into the pit lane for a compulsory stop. This is actually a bit of a weird one. This is at the end of lap 5, so this is actually a touch early for Marino Sato, and he'll certainly be on a 2-stop, getting rid of the mediums that early. But I don't know if that is actually a legal strategy or not, because you need to stop, as we crawl into pit lane there, you need to stop lap 6 or later and change the tyre compound. But I don't know if you can do that in 2 separate stops, because he's changed the tyre compound before lap 6. So yeah, I don't know, because he's going to go soft to the end now.
Right, let's go. Come on. That was a fantastic stop. Faster than we were expecting.
Anyway, either way, I don't think those rules are actually enforced properly for the AI regardless, so I guess we'll never really know.
That was our last stop. No more scheduled pit stops. Let's go.
But yeah, I think it was Ralph Boschung, if I remember correctly, earlier this season, somewhere along the line, didn't do the proper strategy and managed to steal a few points away in the end. So yeah, it has happened before that one of the AI cars has not followed the required strategy. But here we are on the screen just to see where everyone's at the moment. Myself and Sato, leader of those who have stopped so far. So yeah, we've got both the 1-stop and the 2-stop covered.
Ahead. Okay, so the gap to the car ahead, 2.2 seconds.
And as we begin to close into Ralph Boschung, I believe Felipe Dragovic and Ollie Caldwell should be able to make a 1-stop strategy work here, not too dissimilar to our own, because they obviously didn't finish the previous one.
Teammate behind is 5.7 seconds.
And they won't have the same level of wear on those tyres, so yeah, they're in a potentially very good position here as we continue to race on. This is Frederic Vesti coming out of pit lane, and Sato's got the undercut on Frederic Vesti, and with the medium tyre stint out the way, can run softs to the end. Vesti still needs to use the mediums and has dropped in behind, so strategy working a treat for Marino Sato so far. Meanwhile, we are putting the pressure on Ralph Boschung as we look to the outside. Another collision warning, so it's been a pretty scrappy weekend for us so far here at Monza. Hopefully we can get through everything else incident free, but just a lot of instances of light contact throughout this one, and probably in general recently we've been a bit aggressive, getting close with the other cars. But anyway, as we continue to race on and move up the positions, we move up all the way into first as everyone else makes their stops, and now we just need to bring it home. Essentially, I don't think we're really under any kind of threat, as you can see behind Sato and Vesti, second and third, but they still need to make another pit stop to get to the end. Vesti goes for the move around the outside of Sato into the first corner. Vesti with the fresher tyres under the moment, but Sato finding the traction on the outside and manages to hold off Frederick Vesti all the way up until Sato comes in for his final stop onto a fresh set of soft compound tyres. So he's going to get the undercut once again, is Marino Sato, and once Vesti comes out on the mediums, it's really going to be very difficult for him to do anything on those tyres. So I think Sato has the strategy absolutely nailed here for potentially a second place finish. If it weren't for the two cars or the two other cars that are doing two stops in this race, Felipe Drugovich and Ollie Caldwell in a very strong position, both of them going to the end from here, whilst everyone else ahead of Marino Sato all the way up until second place will need to stop again. So essentially Marino Sato is running fourth behind myself, Drugovich and Caldwell, once everyone else makes those stops. Clement Novalak retires from the race with a mechanical failure, and as always at that part of the circuit the road starts glitching out with his camera angle, don't know why.
Okay, be aware there's an incident in the next part of the track, no overtaking through the yellow flags.
But anyway, we will race along, get past Novalak, who's parked off the side of the road, and yeah, we start to approach the last 5 laps of the race. Not too much going on in our world. Frederick Vesti finally comes in for the medium compound tyres with just a handful of laps left in this one. And I think that was Marino Sato you could hear in the background going through as we go for a bit of a spin on the curbs there. Not ideal, and then we couldn't quite get it turned around back onto the road too easily there, so we ran off into the gravel. But anyway, no big deal. We've got the lead to burn that sort of time as confirmation there that Sato is not going to be on the podium, it seems, and is currently down in P5 actually. Oh, that's because Ralph Boschung has yet to make his final stop. So yeah, as we continue on board with Ralph Boschung, he comes into the pits, and yeah, Marino Sato will move up into fourth after that. So yeah, that's really how things stand.
You just started the final lap of the race. Final lap.
As we begin the final lap, and it doesn't look like anything is really going to change within the top group of cars. Vesti on the wrong tyres to do anything about Sato, who doesn't really have the pace to catch up to Caldwell, Drugovich, and myself, all just sort of spaced out. So yeah, it's been a very lucky day, and it's about time some luck came our way. It's been a long time since we've been able to bring home a huge haul of points all in one go, but we're going to take home maximum points here. Race win, and the fastest lap, and the championship win as well.
Oh, superb driving. That is the race win, my friend. Well done.
Goodness me. With that haul of points, there's no one that can catch us now. We are the Formula 2 champions.
And Virtuosi have pulled off a great victory here today. So, Davide, how exactly did they set themselves apart from the pack today?
Well, I'm not sure what we just saw, but one thing's for sure. Today's winner has certainly showed they have no fear battling it out on the track. And who can blame them? I don't think I've ever seen someone through the competition so quickly. Today's race was a sight to behold, and judging from the crowd's reaction, it went down well with the fans as well.
And here are our podium drivers today. After that excellent race, they've excelled here as they so often do, and it's a well-deserved victory. Virtuosi then are on top today.
Well, it's been a long time between drinks, as they say, but it's another race win for us this season. Second place goes to Felipe Drugovich, and fair play to Ollie Caldwell. He's on the podium once more.
And now let's take a look at the drivers' standings. We also crown a champion today, as their lead at the top is now an insurmountable one. What a great year it's been for Formula 2. Now then, Davide Valsecchi, who would you say was your driver of the day?
Lots of driver impressed me today, Alex. But if I have to say one that impressed me most, it's Jack Doohan.
And now a look at the team standings. Virtuosi moved to the top of the table. There was also a strong showing from the MP Motorsport team today as they make their way up the standings. There will be plenty more twists and turns to come this season. I hope you'll join us at the next race when Formula 2 returns.
Well, what else? What is there to say about all of that? Finally, we get the job done in one of these races. Whether it was just, you know, tire failures, fuel issues, general bad luck, my own driving, it has been a whole variety of things that have gone wrong ever since around Hungary, all those rounds ago. But finally, we break through and get another win here. So yeah, that has been a while, but it's good to have a bit of mixed fortunes. Makes things all the more interesting. But yeah, we kind of helped ourselves by just being generally bad in the sprint race and running into the back of Amaury Cordial, which yeah, gave us a great tyre strategy option in the feature race. And the similar thing can be said for Dragovic and Caldwell. They both retired with mechanical issues, and then bam, perfect tyre strategy in the feature race. So yeah, the whole podium was filled by drivers who struggled in the sprint race for one reason or another. So yeah, that's interesting the way that that played out. Not really anything to say in terms of the championship standings. They have both now been resolved. We'll maybe look at those in more detail at the start of the next one in terms of what other drivers can achieve. But yeah, in terms of the race result, I haven't even run through that yet. It was myself ahead of Felipe Dragovic and Ollie Caldwell rather in the third position. Marino Sato takes home fourth. Best of the rest of the two stoppers, I suppose. Festi, and then it was Hauger, the two Scandinavian drivers ahead of Enzo Fittipaldi, Yuri Vips, Richard Bashaw and Amaury Cordial taking the final point. Apologies if my commentary has been a little bit quiet and, well, a bit of a mess at times. I've had to do a lot of cuts in this one. It's quite late, but yeah, that's how it is. But anyway, thank you all so much for watching to the very end. I really do appreciate it. Please feel free to give me some feedback in the comments, other than telling me I'm too quiet. And yeah, I will see you in the next one for the final round of the championship in Abu Dhabi. Can't wait for it. I'll see you then, and goodbye.